April the 1st, Introduction. April is the first full month of spring, and at last days are longer than nights. It is traditionally fickle when it comes to the weather. Brilliant skies are typical, with magnificent cloud formations which can quickly change to thick cloud, strong winds, or warm showers. It is a time of remarkably rapid plant growth, especially noticeable during warm periods. Then again, it can occasionally wear its white hat with frost and snow. Strong, quick colour changes are also typical, both in the greens of the landscape and the blues and greys of the skies. Sunshine and showers, the sighs and smiles of April, bring the most colourful and the most welcome of all weather phenomena, rainbows. April is a marvellous month for birdwatching. All our resident birds are now singing, and also one or two of the summer visitors recently returned from the Riviera and Africa. There is much activity with courting, nesting, and the rearing of young. Birds are less timid than at other times of years, as they may become preoccupied showing off to their mates or building nests. Having heard the first chiff-chaff, bird watchers are now looking for their first swallow and perhaps even a cuckoo. There is an overall feeling that London's lakes are now getting quieter and its woodlands are getting noisier. The dawn chorus gradually increases as the month goes on. For the first time, wildflowers are seen in numbers. This may be dandelions back again in the streets or celandine anemones in the woods. Wood anemones give way to bluebells as the month progresses, and perhaps even the first orchids. So deciduous woodland is fast becoming a place to spend more time. London streets are awash with cherries and magnolias, and gardens are full of daffodils, which will gradually give way to tulips. When proud April, dressed in all its trim, hath put a spirit of youth in everything. Shakespeare. Colour. April is a month of many different colours. It starts with a kaleidoscope of different greens, soft reds, and tans as the trees burst into leaf. Lively, even shiny greens predominate when the leaves are fresh. The upturned leaves of white beans stand out in London streets, being a powdered sage green, as does the vivid green of lime trees. At the beginning of the month, there are still great splashes of yellow with forsythia in gardens. Dandelions on waste ground and rape in fields take over as the month progresses. Looking across the landscape, the dull white of blackthorn is being taken over by the emerald green of hawthorn. Then comes the softer white of wild cherries. In more urban areas, it is the magnolias that dominate the early part of the month, with their milky violets. This moves on to cherry time, which is predominantly white and pink. In gardens, the strident blues of different ceanothus varieties stand out, as does the orange-yellow of Jus mallow, Kerria japonica. By the end of the month, it's lilac time. Different again are the colours in public parks and gardens. Daffodil time gives way to all the different colours of tulips. By the end of the month, there is virtually no colour that cannot be found in gardens, due to the huge number of new plants coming into flower. Woods have a more muted progression of colour. Early in the month, the vibrant blues and purples of ground ivy, violets, and bugle predominated. In some woods on the North Downs, this gets completely overtaken by white patches of anemones. Later in the month, one of the colour highlights of the year occurs, with the unforgettable sapphire blue of our native wild bluebells. Generally, though, green dominates the month, the last trees coming into leaf providing a new green backdrop to all habitats. The bare, grey landscape of winter has at last gone.